Hello and welcome to this course. Now, there are a few different ways you can get help when you need it for this course, and this video is designed to teach you exactly how to go about getting help for the particular thing that you might be struggling with or what you might be interested in doing. Now, there are different types of questions, and depending on the type of question that you have, you may wish to go to a different source for help. Now, we're going to cover what you should do for general Unreal Engine questions, course-specific questions, questions or discussions you may wish to have with other students, and material/source code for the course so that you'll know where to get what you need for participating in every video in the course. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first kinds of Unreal Engine questions you may have are general questions. These are questions that come up very often for lots of Unreal Engine developers, and a quick search online may give you the answer to the question that you have. Now, here's an example. Let's say you close the anim graph in your animation blueprint and you can't reopen it. You're not sure how to get the anim graph back. Now, this is one of those common questions that other people have probably asked before, and so there's a way that you can check to see if this has been asked already, and chances are, if it has been, someone out there in the Unreal Engine community may have answered this. And this happens all the time. There's a really huge worldwide Unreal Engine community, and you can check to see if other people have asked questions, and you can also ask your own questions. So if you have an Epic Games account, you can log in to the Unreal Engine forums, but you can also simply Google or search in your favorite search engine for the question that you may have. For example, I Googled UE4 animation blueprint missing anim graph. And after looking at the first couple of items that popped up, I found that there's this question that was answered on the Unreal Engine forums. And it's basically someone is asking if there's a way to open the anim graph tab once we've closed it. And if you scroll down and there are multiple answers, sometimes there are people who provide screenshots, people who provide suggestions, and their answer is upvoted if other people found that answer to be helpful. So for this person here, they said you should be able to reopen your anim graph by double-clicking it in the graphs list on your My Blueprint tab, and they provided a screenshot, which was really nice of them. And this may or may not be the solution to what the person was asking or to your question if you had a similar question, but it's a good start. Now, this is what I encourage you to do first if you have a general Unreal Engine question like this. You can search in your favorite search engine, or you can go straight to the forums and post a question or search for already answered questions. And this is an excellent source to get information. So give that a try if it's a more general question, something that has to do with the engine itself. So the solution to this would be to search Unreal Engine forums for your particular problem. Just do a quick search, see if it pops up, and if not, then you can move on to the next step, which is what you would do for course-specific questions. Now, for example, you may have tried the code for a particular video in this course, and it's either not compiling or it's not working properly. Now, for this, you're going to want to take a look at the Udemy Q&A for this course. Now, for example, here is a Udemy course, and say you have problems for this particular video. So what you can do is you can scroll down just past the video and click on the Q&A section, and here there are lots of different questions that people have already asked, and you can search these questions, and you can also sort and filter the questions as well. Now, if you've searched the questions and you haven't found a question that is nearly identical or the same as your question that has an answer to it, you can scroll all the way down and click on Ask a New Question, and you'll be asked if this is related to course content or something else. So ask the Q&A section if it has to do specifically with the course, and if there are no other questions already asked that answer this question that you might have. Now, when you ask a question, some things that make it a lot easier for me as the instructor to answer for you is make sure that you're asking the question while you're on the particular video that you have a question about. That way, it'll tag this video when it posts your question, so I'll know which video you're talking about. Also, if there's a point in the video specifically that you have a question about, take a look at the point in time in the video and mention that point in time in the video in your question. That way, when I'm looking through lots of questions and I read your question and you tell me in this video at this point in time, here's my question, then I'll know exactly where to look and I'll be able to answer your question more quickly. Now, if your question involves code, it's really helpful if you show me your code. So if you have a particular piece of code that you just added to your project and it's not compiling or it's not working, if you have a compiler error, take a screenshot of the compiler error and include that in your question. And if you have a piece of code that you don't understand, highlight that particular piece of code and include it in your question. Now, if you're going to include code in your question, you can type it out or paste it here. So if you have, say, code like class A, you can make this look a lot more like code by highlighting it and clicking on this symbol here. If you hover over it, a pop-up says code, and if you click that, it puts your highlighted text into a code format. That's one way to do it. Another way is to simply take a screenshot and include it in your question as an image. That's also really helpful because then I can see the code in your integrated development environment like Visual Studio, and I can see the different colors which pinpoint to me what the different types of code and pieces of code are. So that can help as well. So a screenshot of your code or pasting it in with the code format is also very useful. So the solution to this type of question would be check the Q&A section, and if there are no questions answering your particular question, go ahead and post a question. Now, if what you want to do is discuss the course with other students, for example, you may want to ask if anyone else has tried to turn this particular project into a first-person shooter. Now, this is a great question to ask other students, and if you'd like to do that, I recommend joining the Discord server for my students. Now, I have a Discord server. The link will be in the resources for this video, and the Discord server has several different channels here that you can post your questions and discuss things with other students. Now, there are channels here for each of the Udemy courses that I teach, as well as the books that I have published, and also there are general chat rooms as well, and you can ask each other questions, collaborate, maybe reach out to each other. Just make sure that you're not posting any personal information such as phone numbers, addresses, anything like that here in the text channels. So that way other people can't get your personal info. So if you want to collaborate or chat with other students, join the Discord server. You'll also get announcements when new content comes out and things like that. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Now to download the finished project, you're going to go to the resources for this video, How to Get Help. Click the drop down and click the Unreal Engine Shooter Project. Now this will take you to a Google Drive where you can download all the files for the project. So you're going to select all of these, right click, and select download. So that's going to conclude this video. Now you have several different options for when you need help with this course. And remember, you're never alone with this course. You've always got the Q&A section. I do my best to answer all questions within a timely manner. We have the Discord server so students can chat with each other and help each other out, which also takes some of the burden off of me as an instructor. The more students I get, the more time it takes to get through the questions. So it does help when there are common questions that students can help each other out with. And also, it helps to form a community and allows us to all get to know each other a little bit and see what everyone else is doing. So, I hope you have fun with this course. Do not hesitate to reach out. There will always be someone to help you, whether it's someone from the Unreal Engine community online, someone, whether it's me or someone else answering your question in the Q&A, or whether it's me or someone else answering your question on the Discord. So I hope this is helpful, and I will see you in the next video.